Hi guys, welcome back to Hear Me Out. I'm E,
D.
and we're always a hot mess. But on a serious tip, guys, let us know in the comments. Is it like are we too old to watch cartoons? I know. It's a silly question, but you'll know why. So, Doug is coming back. Do you guys know Doug? Let us know in the comments. Nickelodeon back in the day. So apparently there's going to be a Doug sequel series and it's in the works with Disney Plus. Now Doug was one of my favorite cartoons back in the day,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to decide if I'm too grown for cartoons, but I'm saying F it. I don't think I am, and I think I might watch it. I don't know. For those of you excited and want to know some details, I'm going to let you know right now. So Disney Plus continues with its revival and is preparing to bring back one of the most iconic, most beloved animated series from the 90s, Doug, almost 25 years after its ending with Doug's first movie in 1999. Wait, is
Wow.
Doug aging me? Because I'm
Girl,
like 25.
girl, okay.
Originally premiering in Nickelodeon in 1991, Doug became one of the great animated productions of the time, being part of the golden generation for the network. The story focuses on the teenager, a shy and unpopular boy, but with a great imagination who finds himself madly in love with one of his classmates. I know who it is. Patricia Mayonnaise, aka Patty Mayonnaise.
I love
I
her.
wonder, I know. I'm just so giddy because it just reminds me of my childhood, and I
Yeah.
used to do all these crazy things while watching Doug. I'll tell you guys later. The series focuses on Doug's experience as a teenager, his friendships, his relationship with his family, and his first love. The series was always highly praised by critics, which led the franchise to expand to a world of comic books, video games, and even a stage play titled Doug Live, which ran from 1999 to 2001.
Wow. I didn't know about that. Okay.
Meaning,
So, therefore, now that Disney Plus is bringing back so many hits from the past, it's no surprise that Doug is joining the roster. Now, speaking with Ted Buick, Doug's creator, Jim Jenkins, revealed that a sequel series is currently in early development at Disney Plus. The show will follow the kids of Doug and Patty and Game, no doubt, in a format similar to that of the original series. Despite having ended his run at Disney and now belonging to the House of the Mouse, there is no doubt that Doug's first seasons were part of a generational change driven by Nickelodeon's animated products or productions. Doug was produced by the company Jumbo Pictures, and the first four seasons aired on Nickelodeon with great success. However, they decided not to renew for a fifth installment, ending in 1994. And in 1996, Disney bought Jumbo Pictures, ordering an additional season of the 26 episodes, airing on ABC. After the very good reception, it was renewed for two more seasons until a movie which presented the end of the story in 1999. So crazy.
are we too old to watch cartoons? I think I'm gonna watch it. I watched Doug when it was on ABC. I
Yeah.
watched Doug growing up. I remember my mom being so upset with Doug. Like she just didn't understand him. We're Hispanic. He's like, what are you doing writing? Like she didn't understand journaling or writing on a
Oh
diary
my gosh.
and all these things. And it was just
Yeah.
like, she was like, he has cuatro pelos, which is like four little strands of hair. Our parents just make fun of everything at this point.
Just stay trying
But
our favorite.
I know. But I just loved that era of cartoons. It was just
Uh,
so, I don't know, like juvenile, like so like happy and light,
innocent.
innocent. It was
Yeah.
so innocent. Like I think as I was growing up, and I have a little brother, and I used to watch cartoons with him. That's like my thing. I saw like the evolution of cartoons. It got a little
Yeah.
more raunchier. Things that people frown upon, like burping, farting, all these nasty things. These cartoons were doing it now, or like, you know, I don't want to say slurring, but they were more loose with their vocabularies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just find it, or even like getting in trouble, but not in a innocent kind of way. It was more in a bad boy. What's the word? More in the I really want to
Rebelling?
rebelling,
Yeah,
in a rebelling
yeah,
kind of way.
I would
So
say
we
so.
see that with let me think, kind of SpongeBob, Ren and Stimpy,
Mm,
um,
that show.
Rocco's Modern Life. I'm trying to think of
Oh
like,
my god, I love
oh, my
Rocko's
little
Modern
brother
Life.
used to watch Ed and Eddie. We used to hate it so bad, like my mom, my sister, and like myself, because Ed and Eddie, like they used to have like these messy rooms, and they used to do like all these nasty things
Yeah,
as boys or whatever.
yeah,
So I feel like etiquette started to change a little bit,
yeah,
and of course these things translate to the kids who are watching it, and
yeah,
the trickle down effect. And even in movies now, like I think cursing wasn't a big thing back then, or at least at the things that I was watching. And
right.
now you can say certain curse words without it being bleeped.
I know.
It still trips me
Weird.
out to this day,
Yeah.
like watching Netflix or something, and they'll say, I can't even think of it. I don't even feel comfortable saying it, but they'll just say like random words that you just like, you can't say that as a kid,
Yeah, I don't
like SOB, you know,
right.
you can't say that, but now you can say it freely at a sitcom or something.
Yeah. It's a little weird. I
Hmm.
appreciated Doug for what it was back in those days, and I used to love writing. I mean, I still do, but not the way, I guess, not as much as I used to just because I don't have the time for it. But I loved like seeing him writing, and then I loved his crush on Patty Mayonnaise. Like it was just the cutest little thing, you know?
Yeah,
And when you're young and you don't know about love and relationships, this is where you're getting your information, right? This is where you're getting all of that cuz your parents ain't going to tell you. And like it was definitely, I think, for me a big like it felt kind of like a connection, right? Like you're just connected to these people. Of course, they're animated characters, but you have like this connection, right, to these shows because you learned something or there was relatable topics or whatever. And that was one thing that like I always appreciated about shows like Doug because yeah, they were just, like kind of innocent. They were very much like just your everyday life, right? Like you could relate to things because, especially in today's I guess programming, everything is so much more salacious and crazier and all that, whereas Doug was just like living a regular old life, even though he had a crazy imagination at times. Like he still just
yeah.
going to school and didn't he have like a bully, or there was like a bully in school? I can't remember his name.
Roger.
Roger, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's like I think what we're missing in today's like programming is the relatability, or I don't know if that's a word, but like, things that are relatable to like just our everyday lives. I'm not like I can't when I see like when I used to watch like the teeny bopper shows or whatever, like, Pretty Little Liars or Gossip Girl, those were not relatable. Like
It's
those
like,
things
but
weren't
that's when you were older, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like you said, we witnessed the evolution of like, TV programming for kids and, all of that where we were able to enjoy, I think, a very like clean and just like overall healthy, appropriate, yeah, sort of programming. Um I used to love watching like Doug and I even would watch like X-Men cartoons on Saturdays, like nothing crazy.
Remember Arthur?
Oh, I loved Arthur. I'd come home from school and watch Arthur. Like,
Magic School Bus. I'm trying to think. What was
I
the other
love
show?
Magic School.
Dragon Tales. These are like PBS shows now.
Yeah,
Bob Ross was popular back in the day. I used to watch him paint all the time.
yeah,
Uh, but going back to the programming, I think we covered it on 90s Con, right? That all
mhm,
these different shows like Family Matters and Full House,
yeah,
they had like these topics, you know, where they, had an issue, they solved it, family over everything, or whatever the
Yeah,
solution was, all in like 22 minutes, because there's, but
yeah,
it was like, kind of teaching us, things that probably our parents were instilling in us
yeah, yeah,
as well. So I think that TV, I mean, we don't even have TV anymore at this point. We have all these different, you know,
yeah,
streaming services. But, kids nowadays, I think that's what they're missing. Like whatever they're
yeah,
teaching, then, you know, these shows are like really cementing these things, and
yeah,
they don't have something like that anymore. I guess
yeah.
something close was Fuller House, let's say.
It had its elements of like modern.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like there was definitely the formulaic aspect from back in the days, but also very much like modern aspects
Mhm.
to it. And I don't know. I just think like I think that it's I mean it's
Misty.
not for us anymore, right? Like we're not kids, so like the kids today are growing up in a very different world, and that's just how it is. And I don't think Disney has the same sort of pull that it used to have back in the days. I mean, we used to love Friday night Disney movies, Disney
We
original movies, you know?
had
Um,
we had Johnny's.
hello.
We had Xenon,
Yup, Smart House, Luck of the Irish,
Merman. What was it called? The 13th Year.
The 13th Year, yeah.
Man, they had so many good shows.
All
Like
the Xenon.
so many. I used to love all of them.
Yeah. And that's the thing, it's like I remember watching Jet Jackson. I remember watching Kim Possible. I loved Kim Possible. The Proud
Yeah.
Family. These are cartoons, but I loved all of them. Um, and then even Stevens was a little like, but whatever. And then of course the ultimate, Lizzie McGuire. Lizzie
Oh,
was my girl. So, but you get me, like I feel like Disney doesn't have that same status anymore. Um, maybe it's because of the onset of like the streamers and all of that, and they're kind of late to the game with by the time they launched Disney Plus. I mean, they of course they had a lot of like the old nostalgic stuff that people like devoured within the first few months of Disney Plus, and then they started doing original programming. But literally this year they've canceled a lot of their original programming.
mm,
So it's different. It's very different, I feel, in today's society, and Disney just doesn't do what it used to do. I don't even Does Nickelodeon still exist? I don't even know.
I have no idea. I think it does. It should, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But, it just like I said, it's different times, and I definitely would not mind checking out this new iteration of Doug. That would be pretty cool.
So the conclusion is we're good to go, guys. We're going to watch Doug, okay? And we're going to tell you about it.
Yes, sure.
And let us know in the comments, what was your favorite cartoon? Are you feeling us with this like nostalgia? We had better programming back in the day, and now it's just trash. You know, plus I think plus our attention span. I think I was talking about it in our other video. Like within 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, let me check social media. It's my fault too.
No.
I'm guilty. Okay. But,
Yeah.
we just have so many distractions sometimes. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think back in the day, we used to just sit and watch TV and wait for it. Even telenovelas,
Yeah.
we would be like, oh, 8 o'clock, telenovela is starting. You can't miss it, kind of thing. So times are definitely different. But let us know in the comments your favorite cartoon and
Real
which.
quick, real quick before we end, one show that I can say in this day and age is very reminiscent, but with a modern flair that's appropriate, reminds me of back in the day, is Abbott Elementary. That is one of the best shows that has premiered in the last few years. It is a sitcom. It's based in a school setting, an elementary school setting, about teachers in an underfunded, understaffed, under everything urban school in Philadelphia. And the children actors are hilarious. The adult actors and teachers are incredible. So that's a show that I would absolutely say could literally have taken place back in the 90s or whatever, but it is a great show, and that's something that, like, I would say would be a great, family kind of a family show to watch together.
So you just reminded me. I watched this show on Hulu called Home Economics.
Uh-huh.
It's literally 20 minutes, very sitcom as well. So it's like kids and two brothers and a sister, and it's like their dynamic,
Aw.
and then raising kids together, and it's kind of funny and quirky.
Aw,
22
okay.
minutes, that's the epitome of a sitcom kind of thing. So I think it's very funny too.
Yeah.
Modern, a little modern, but
Yeah.
funny as well. But let us know what you think in the comments. So that concludes today's video. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share our video. We're trying to grow our community, so your friends, our friends, be friends.
All of us.
All of us together forever. So we also have social media, which Dee will tell you about.
We are on Instagram and TikTok at Hear Me Out DNE. So make sure you guys follow, like, share, comment. We love interacting.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.